He was recognized as a brilliant strategist, an inspiring leader. But there was that almost trivial weakness in his peripheral vision that stood between him and greatness. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. A stir at the front of the plane drew their attention to the diva, who had finally graced them with her presence. She wore a belted tan trench coat over black pants, along with royal blue stilettos that added 5 inches to her already impressive height. A few trails of dark hair emerged from the sides of a printed scarf wrapped around her head, like in old photos Thad had seen of Jackie Kennedy. Along with the scarf, the pair of big-ass sunglasses perched on her long nose made her look like a jet-setter right out of the 1960s, or maybe an Italian movie star. She tossed down a designer tote bag big enough to hold a golden retriever and took a seat near the front, without acknowledging either of the men. As the faint scent of luxury perfume, high culture, and undiluted arrogance wafted its way to the back of the plane, Coop unfurled from the seat.
"Time for me to get out of here." "Lucky bastard,"
Thad muttered. Coop knew Thad well enough to know that the diva wasn't entirely responsible for Thad's bad mood.
"You're what that kid needs,"
he said.
"Clint Garrett has the talent to go all the way, but not without the old man getting him there."
Thad was 36. Only in football years was that old. Coop headed for the front of the plane. He stopped as he approached the diva and nodded.
"Miss Shore?"
She inclined her head, barely acknowledging the man who'd been one of the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL. Thad had the God-given right to throw all the shade he wanted at Coop, but that highbrow opera singer didn't. Graham tossed Thad an amused glance and left the plane. A rat fleeing a sinking ship. Thad doubted Coop had thought twice about turning down Marchand's lucrative offer to serve as brand ambassador for their new Victory 780 men's watch. The ex-quarterback didn't like being away from his family, and he definitely didn't need the money. As for Clint Garrett, young Clint was too busy chasing women and driving fast cars to waste his time representing a prestige company like Marchand, official watch of both the Chicago Stars and the Chicago Municipal Opera. Despite what he'd said to Coop, Thad wasn't entirely surprised Marchand timepieces had come after him to promote their Victory 780 watch. They needed a Stars player, and Thad gave good interviews. Also, that old Heisman had garnered him plenty of publicity over the years. Still, anybody with eyeballs knew it wasn't Thad's throwing arm or glib rejoinders that had sealed the deal with Marchand. It was his pretty face.
"You're even better looking than the boo."
Coop had tweaked him the first time they'd met, referring to the great Stars quarterback Dean Robillard. Thad's looks were a curse. One of his favorite ex-girlfriends had told him, "You've got Liam Hemsworth's nose, Michael B. Jordan's cheekbones, and Zac Efron's hair. As for those green eyes, Taylor Swift for sure. It's like all the good-looking celebs in the world threw up on your face." He missed Lindy, but she'd gotten fed up with his noncommittal crap. After she'd broken up with him, he'd sent her a new laptop so she'd know there were no hard feelings. Over the years, he'd done everything he could to roughen up his appearance. He'd grown a beard a couple of times, but then people started telling him he looked like the dude in 50 Shades. He'd tried a porn star mustache, only to have women say he looked distinguished. He'd even gone for irony and sported one of those asinine man buns for a while. Unfortunately, it looked good on him. In high school, everybody got pimples but him. He'd never needed braces or gone through an awkward phase. He hadn't broken his nose or gotten one of the chin scars every other player in the league had. His hair wasn't thinning. He didn't have a paunch.